One thing that Anne Frank said, how lovely to think that no one need wait a moment. We could start now, start slowly, changing the world. My name is Deb Eisinger, and I am a volunteer docent and occasional writer for the Wassmuth Center. The mission of the Wassmuth Center for Human Rights is to generate upstanders who will stand up for human rights in every situation. Anne Frank was a girl who was born in 1929, and she was a Jew. Her family were Jews, and they moved into hiding in Amsterdam. And when she was a little girl, she was given a diary, and she wrote in that diary for 2 years. She wrote about her feelings as a young person. She wrote about what she saw looking out the window. She wrote about what it was like, what her hopes for the future were. And then that document became one of the most important documents of World War II because it showed you who she was and who she could have been. In 1995, Marilyn Schuler, who was one of the great humanitarians in Boise, arranged to bring in a traveling exhibit called Anne Frank and the World. 50,000 people came. And the whole community thought, oh, there's interest in Anne Frank. And so after that 1995 exhibit, then it became a place to celebrate the story of Anne and what she stands for, and also the human rights that we all hope for. The statue of Anne was paid for mostly by school children all over the state of Idaho. It's a depiction of Anne looking out the window of the attic. She could see this big chestnut tree. That tree we have here is a sprig of the chestnut tree that Anne could see in Amsterdam. And that sprig was sent to only 11 states in the United States, and we are one of those. When you go down behind that statue, there's a stairway. And where Anne's family was living, they lived at the top of a stairway. There was a bookcase that opened up, and down there is a slab of stone that's the same size as the bookcase. There are other human rights memorials, but this is the only one to Anne Frank in the United States. And Asylum Conscious is a place for people to gather and look at the past and bring the past into context with the present and the future so that we can go forward and create peace. It is an internationally recognized site of conscience. There is a full display of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that came out of the beginning of the United Nations. There are 63 quotes by people who talk about human rights. And so it's a wide variety of ideas and concepts that we want to talk to our young people about. The Anne Frank Memorial is located on the Boise River. It is open 365 days a year. It is entirely free to everyone. There's also a kiosk. Push a button and you can hear about that place in English and Spanish. So there are lots of ways to go around the memorial. So what we have done is we have focused on Anne as a symbol and then stretched from that history to the history in Idaho and how we could take what we've learned from the Holocaust into the future. We want to go forward with the backing of the people who came before us and the people who have stood up for human rights, and that those people can lead us. So you want to go forward with hope. You want to think about what we've learned and what we can do better.